Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be back again as your mystery reader. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you got a good night's rest. And I'm here to read the Butter Battle book to you all. This is one of my favorites, and I know a lot of my after-school friends really like this book. So this is for you guys. So it's the Butter Battle book by Dr. Seuss. Let me just make sure you guys can see it. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall. My grandfather took me out to the wall. Look how long it is. For a while he stood silent, then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old head, "As you know, on this side of the wall are the Ukes. On the far other side of this wall live the Zooks. Then my grandfather said, it's high time that you knew of the terribly horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down." But we Ukes, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our butter, Grandpa said, with the butter side up. That's the right, honest way, Grandpa gritted his teeth. So you can't trust a Zook who spreads bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. That's why, as a youth, I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook Watching Border Patrol. Hi, Enzo. Good morning. In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high, and I could look any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I could give him a twitch with my tough, tuft, prickly snitchberry switch. Hi, Annabelle! For a while, that worked fine. All the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe. Then, one terrible day, a very rude Zook by the name of Van Itch snuck up and slingshotted my snickberry switch. Hi, Henry. With my broken off switch and my head hung in shame, to the chief Ukaroo in great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled. He said, "You're not to blame, and those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you right up in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot." And he ordered the boys in the back room to figure how to build me some sort of a triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger, I sure felt much bigger. I marched to the wall with great vim and great vigor, right up to Van Itch with my hand on the trigger. "I'll have no more nonsense," I said with a frown, "from Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down." Van Itch looked quite sickly. He ran off quite quickly. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Sarah. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day in a spiffy new suit with a big new machine, and he snarled as he said, looking frightfully mean, "You may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also now have my hand on a trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jigger's rock snatch 'em, we'll fling 'em right back just as quick as we catch 'em. We'll have no more nonsense, we'll take no more gup from you Ukes who eat bread with the butter side up." Those are some crazy machines. "I have failed, sir," I sobbed as I made my report to the chief Ukaroo in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. "You've done nothing at all of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That was old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, dear boy, are not modern enough. All we need is some new-fangled kind of a gun. My boys in the back room have already begun to think up a walloping wing-zinger one. My bright boys are thinking they're on the right track. They'll think one up quick, and we'll send you right back." Good morning, Evie. They thought up a great one, they certainly did. They thought up a gun called the Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with powerful poo-a-doo powder, and ant legs and bee legs and dried fried clam chowder. And they carefully trained a real smart dog named Daniel to serve as our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched back toward the wall with our heads held up high, while everyone cheered and their cheers filled the sky. Fight, fight for the butter side up, do or die. Well, we didn't do, and we didn't quite die, but we sure did get worsted, poor Daniel and I. Van Itch was there too, and he said, "The old pig, the boys in my back room invented this rig, called the 8-nozzled, elephant-toted boom blitz. It shoots high, explosive, sour cherry stone pits, and it will put your dumb Kickapoo kid on the fritz." Poor Daniel and I were scared out of our wits. That is a huge machine. And I do too, Miss Hannah. I love this one. This and Bartholomew and the Oobleck are my favorite Dr. Seuss books. Once more, by Van Itch, I was bested and beat. Once again, I limped home from the wall in defeat. I dragged and I sagged and my spirits were low as I thought they could ever go. Then I heard a boom-ba and a diddle-dee-dill, and our butter-up band marched up over the hill. The chief Yugaroo had sent them to meet me, along with the right side up song girls to greet me. They sang, "Oh, be thy thankful, believe in thy butter," and they lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. "My boy," smiled the chief Yugaroo, "we've just voted you and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform's ready. Get in it. The big war is coming. You're going to begin it. And what's more, this time you are certain to win it. My boys in the back room have finally found how. Just wait till you see what they've buttered up now. In their great new machine, you'll fly over that wall and clobber those buttered down Zooks, one and all." Those boys in the back room sure knew how to putter. They made me a thing called the utterly sputter, and I jumped aboard with my heart all aflutter and steered toward the land of the upside-down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new, no one knew quite exactly just what it would do. But it had several faucets that sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the Zooks as I flew, and gum up that upside-down butter they chew. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle us, Zooks, you'll get sprinkled as well." Van Itch had a sputter exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My blue gooer is working just fine, and I'm here to say that if you Ukes can goo Zooks, you'd better forget it, 'cause Zooks can goo Ukes." I flew right back home, and as you may have guessed, I was downright despondent, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw just as soon as I stepped back on land, so were all of the girls of the Butter Up Band. The chief drum Margarette, Ms. Yuki and Sue, said, "That was a pretty sour flight that you flew, and the chief Yugaroo has been looking for you." That doesn't sound good. I raced to his office. The place was a sight. "Have no fear," said the chief. "Everything is all right. My bright back room boys have been brighter than bright. They've thought up a gadget that's newer than new. It is filled with mysterious moo-laka-moo and can blow all the Zooks clear to Salamagoo. They've invented the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a nice little man. Drop this bomb on the Zooks just as fast as you can. I have ordered all Ukes to stay safe underground while the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo is around." Look how small it is. Where is it? Teeny. As I raced for that wall with the bomb in my hand, I noticed that every last Uke in our land was obeying our chief Yugaroo's grim command. They were all bravely marching with banners aflutter down a hole for their country and right side up butter. That's when Grandfather found me. He grabbed me, he said, "You should be down that hole, and you're up here instead. But perhaps this is all for the better somehow. You will see me make history right here and right now." Grandpa leapt up that wall with a lopulous leap, and he cleared his hoarse throat with a bopulous beat. He screamed, "Here is the end of that terrible town, full of Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down!" And at that very instant we heard a clup-clup of feet on the wall, and old Van Itch clumped up. The boys in his back room had made him one too. In his fist was another big boy boomeroo. "I'll blow you," he yelled, "into pork and wee beans. I'll butter side you up to small smithereens." "Grandpa," I shouted, "be careful. Oh, gee, who's going to drop it? Will you or will he?" "Be patient," said Grandpa. "We'll see, we will see." And that's the end. They leave it as a question. So who do you guys think won, the Ukes or the Zooks? But I think it's silly just to fight about something like that. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Make sure to check in later on at 2 o'clock. Miss Hannah is going to be doing string and yarn art. Miss Karen is doing kitchen science at 4, and then there's going to be meditation tonight at 6:30 with Linda. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.